Hey everyone, this is Ben back with you in the Midwest Model Shop. Today we are going to do an open box review of the Saucy Jack Barking Well Smack from 1836 by Vanguard Models. I picked this kit up a few weeks ago, straight from their website, came to me in the UK. This thing is really cool. All of their kits by Vanguard Model I think are absolutely outstanding. I think Chris Watton is an amazing designer and a great model builder. And great model builders have a tendency to design, in my opinion, the best models because they have the builder in mind. This is marketed as a beginner kit, an amateur kit, but it has enough there to challenge those of you who are more experienced. What I like about it is I think it's an amazing looking little vessel. You get to do all the things that you would do in a larger ship, except for cannons. Maybe there's no cannons on this, but it's a plank on frame, double planked hull ship. So that's same as just, you know, bigger models, same thing we're doing on the Duchess of Kingston, and it gets your feet wet. For those of you who are more experienced, you get the pleasure of being able to build a very nice looking model without it taking forever to do. And that's a big thing for me. You know, you get bored in just about any model kit after a little while. There's some point in it usually where you get slowed down. And by being a smaller kit, there's really less opportunity for that, right? My anticipation is right about the time I've had it with planking the hull, I'll be done. So that'll work out nicely on this thing. I think in US money, this is right around $200 US. You'll have to look at the conversion rate and everything. Price is on the website. If you go to the website, vanguardmodels.co.uk, I believe, click on models. Any kit that's in there, you can go look at the instructions. They have very high detailed, outstanding instructions available for download for free. I highly recommend that you do that. I'm going to thumb through the instruction manual on here, but what you'll be able to do is basically build the model, right? It's step by step. It's almost as good as watching a video, if not better. And between a video build review and the instructions, you'll have no trouble knowing exactly what you're about to get into. This is an impressive kit. There's nothing about this kit that I would replace. All the rigging that came with it is absolutely top-notch. No reason not to use any of it. Very, very cool. I have no idea when I'm going to get around to building it. I just know that I want to build it. So what we're going to do next is just go ahead and get the lid open and thumb through it and take a look at things. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot me an email, but definitely reach out to Chris at Vanguard Models. He'll have all your answers to really explain everything to you. All right, without further ado, let's open up the box. All right, folks, here we go. This is the front of the box. It is not very big, but don't be fooled. Sometimes really good things come in small packages, and this definitely is one of them. So I haven't opened everything up yet, so we're going to go through it together. Take the cover off. Here's where you start. Right away on top you have this incredible set of instructions. I will thumb through this, but again, if you just go to the Vanguard Models website, click on Model Kits, go find the Saucy Jack, go look at any of them. Down below you'll see download the instructions, and you can see every one of these glorious epic pages, basically build the whole thing and see how it goes, which is what I've done with a lot of the kits, but we will thumb through this. Okay, we have this miscellaneous piece of bubble wrap. Then we get into, first thing I'm going to grab right here are the threads. Now, I was saying that I had purchased mine extra replacement ones for the Duchess of Kingston from Ropes of Scale. Not that there was anything really wrong with the ones provided. I just thought the Ropes of Scale ones were better. These, however, these are really good. These might even be from Ropes of Scale. There's no reason at all not to utilize the ones that come in the kit. Let's go to this. Usually these finer ones are the ones that are finicky, right? So super tight, no funny looseman. If this is the Gutermann stuff, this stuff is outstanding. This is where you'll see a lot of fuzzes. And as you can see, it's all nice and tight. You've got the rope shape. That's outstanding. This one's even smaller. Again, the rope's all tight and nice. This is good stuff. And then this is like, you know, your teeny tiny, even the teeny tiny stuff. No fuzzes, no inconsistencies. This is an excellent set of rigging. And for a beginner, it's super important that everything goes extremely well. And as someone who is an expert or knows what they're doing, or you just want to have a real nice kit, right? It's great. This can make a difference, having high quality rigging material, and that's what you get out of the box. All right, so moving along, you're going to get a bag with your full sheet instructions inside of it. These are going to be referenced for some rigging and a few other parts. These are super high quality prints, 1:1 scale. Basically, we're going to start off here with an inventory sheet, something that I am really lazy about doing, but you'll end up referencing at some point here. This is not 1:1 scale on this sheet. This is just another inventory sheet. All right, supplementary plan sheet. This is good because here you get an idea of how big is the boat. I'll put my hand here. It's pretty good. It's not too small. But it's not going to take forever. This is going to be a pretty quick build, and you know, but you get your fingers wet with you get your feet wet, sorry, with all of the aspects of a larger build without it taking so long that you'll just lose interest on the whole thing, which to me is really important. I don't mind the work. What I do mind is when it just gets boring, which happens with certain aspects of any model kit build. And obviously the time it can minimize. This is a 1:1 scale here for all the masts and yard arms. There's all like 4 of them or whatever. So you can get the taper right and get the positioning of everything correct. This is a rigging diagram here for your optional sails. You do not have to use them, but this is what they are and how they should be sewn up. Which is great. All right, here's your standing rigging sheet. Simple. Again, nothing complicated here, but all extremely well laid out and detailed. They even show you right here how to tie your clove hitch knot, which is correct for your climbing up the ratlings. Excellent, excellent. A lot of kits don't tell you to do that. You're supposed to do a clove hitch. That's the technical correct way. The direction of the lines is shown here, which way they should, where they start, terminate, and go. So you, again, all the confusion is gone. Securing lines to the belaying pins, proper way to do that. All the information is right here. This is like the quality. Basically, now we're at like Wingnut Wings level kit stuff. I know I said if Tamiya was to make a wooden ship kit, it would be like this, but really, it's Wingnut Wings, right? Just let's see here. Sparring rig option 2. So this is a different way to set things up. It's cool that you have different options. Sail fitting sheet 1. Good explanation of what's going on here. Tells you all the rigging threads and what you need to do. Really nice stuff. And what we're going to finish up here. Sail fitting sheet 2. Again, more lines. And this is a simple ship, and everything is clearly and nicely laid out so you can understand what's going on. Absolutely fantastic. Next up, we've got this bag with your blocks, a little bit of photo etch, and some resin parts. So there's a little dinghy boat that comes along with. I don't know if this is 3D printed or cast. but it is outstanding. So again, you don't have to make this boat like you do. I guess it's 3D printed. Looks like this is the back part here. Outstanding. You don't have to make this boat out of tiny pieces of wood and struggle with that. You're just going to go ahead and drop the photo etch in and paint this up, and you have this perfect ship, sorry, perfect little dinghy, all set and ready to go. Easy peasy. Here we've got our anchor. I think that this is resin cast or 3D printed. Very nice. Let's see. So we get some 3D printed barrels. Pull one out. They're totally acceptable. You know, get some paint on them, they'll look great. Let's see here. This is, oh, I forget what you call this thing. I think it's not a windlass. It's their jack or halyard. They use, it's like a it's a winch basically, but it's 3D printed so that this is the metal part in the center, and then you don't have to make all the wooden parts on the end. And let's see, you get a ton of brass pins. I'm not going to worry about pulling those out. And then you get your assortment of dead eyes and blocks. Not too many, because again, this is a simple rigged ship, so you're not going to be overwhelmed by a ton of parts here. Very nice stuff. Very nice. Next to our business, we've got the sails that come standard now. I have not pulled these out, but they're all sewn up. I think you got to add a little rigging. You're good to go. You could dye them any color that you want. I'm going to put these on the ship. I've never put sails on a ship that I've built before. I've had people say, well, why didn't you put any sails on? I grew up with the Cuddy Sark in my room, the big one by Revell my dad built, and he put the sails on it. I'm going to pull these open. And, you know, it was this amazing thing to behold. The drawback was you couldn't see anything. Couldn't see any of the rigging, couldn't see any of the details on the ship. It just all was kind of blocked. But I feel like this is nice. This feels like it's a pretty heavy canvas. It's probably akin to the real thing. This is great for not having ever done this before or messed with them, knowing anything about it. It's here. So yeah, some ships, you know, and some of the ships don't even come with sails. There's so much rigging detail, it would all be lost if you put sails on anyway. It's up to the model builder. You do you, right? You could dye these any color you want. You could put them on. You don't have to include them. Whatever you feel like. All right, next right here we have our wood. So let's see if I can do this here. Obviously, I have not opened any of this. Okay, here we go. So this is your pear wood second layer planking. I believe, I'm going to screw this up. I think this is holly. I'm going to get this wrong, but this is your first layer of planking that you throw down. All very nice, well-machined timbers. And then your mass and, I forget, my brain's not working. These are all made out of walnut, though. These are your mass and your bowsprit and jibs and all those things. All made out of walnut, super smooth already, high density, good contrasting color. Nice stuff. All right, finally you get to a package like this, and inside of here is going to be everything else nicely stowed so that it ships well and doesn't get damaged. Oh yeah. I'm assuming Chris does all this himself or has some help at home. Whoever does this does a great job of wrapping everything up, and I'm doing a great job of messing up opening it. We're just going to slide all this out of here. Re-secure all this later. Okay. So, again, taped together. This first sheet, I'll do this. I've seen this. This is your finished display stand. And it is, I'll flip it around here. It's a very nice nameplate on it already. Clear to pop together. This is for the very end to display your ship on. Alright, here we go. Nuts and bolts of the ship. This is the ship itself. So this is MDF. A lot of the initial parts that you're going to build up. As you can see again, I'll put my hand here. Not too large, but not too small. This is just right to, to get yourself, get your hands dirty, get your feet wet with building the ship. This is great. Very nicely detailed. Here you have your already planked and ready to go deck. This gets a little flex and then drops in. I've already done this on the Duchess of Kingston. These are extremely well detailed, nicely done. Put a little bit of, you could stain it if you wanted to, but if you put a little clear coat on here, some of this detail will pop even more. Pretty thick piece of wood, so it's not to worry about anything happening to it. There's your Saucy Jack details for the back of the boat mostly. Again, this is all pear wood. Here's your hull details on the side up in the whales. Again, just all of this is done for you and nicely marked out with guide holes, and because these pieces, like the instructions, go on top of here, and there's no confusion about where anything needs to go. It's all simply and methodically laid out. You're going to have your whales and your caps and your gunnels and tops and everything like that here. More, because you're going to have the inside of your bulwarks and the outside of the ship all sitting here ready to go. Got some oars and a rudder here for your little our little dinghy boat that we looked at earlier. Looks like we got a ship's rudder and yeah, some of your stern posts and your false keel. Now we get into some of the little detail parts here. This is your hatch going up and down. Some of your hatches for where you stow your fish. This is a fishing boat. Some more of the same. Very nice. And then down here, this is more of the hull assembly, the basic hull. This is MDF. Pop all this stuff out, and it's all designed to lock together to be nice and straight. And then when you're done kind of just clicking it all together, you go back with glue and shore the whole thing up. It's very nice. Alright, and then here's our first deck material. So you got your false deck. This is we got a curve going on here. I'll probably wet this. This is just the nature of the wood. It feels like it's got a little humidity in it. I'll probably wet this, lay it down, put a book on it, soften it just to get it to go back to flat when I get to that stage. And I can also sandwich it in between some pieces in here for storage. Very nice piece of photo etch. All your little parts. And then just like the Duchess of Kingston, you got a little bit of detail here. A little fancy ornate detail, but all nice metal pieces. Very cool. Just adds a nice level of realism. Let's see. A little piece popped out here. We'll hang on to that. And then our final piece, this is our bulkheads for the Saucy Jack. Not too many here. It's like 8, 9, 10 of them total. And what I like here, see this double line? That's going to be your outside, and this inside line is going to be where you ferret to. So I'll end up, this is that thick. The outside line I'll start on that end and at 0 right out here, and then at an angle into this line diagonally. You'll end up removing that material, and that'll be a baseline starting point for the rest of the fairing of the hull to get you close. So yeah, that's it. Very nice. Let's go ahead and flip through the instructions now. Alright, so your manual is printed on very nice thick paper, bound to flip over with excellent color prints. I've got a nice history of the ship right here, an explanation of the kit, and it's meant to get you going. We start off right away with the recommended tools. In case you're not sure, I have never done this before. It'll suggest some things that you should probably get. There's a very short list here. None of this is going to hurt to have. Continuing on, you get a little bit more of a tool list explanation, and then some nice photographs here of what the ship should look like when you're finished, just in case you're not sure if you're going down the right direction or not. So then we go ahead and begin at the front. At this point, you're straight up building the ship from here on out. And if you go, like I said, online and check out the digital instructions, this is the fairing that I was talking about before. That's all marked out nice and easy for you. But if you go online, you can look at these digital instructions, download them, put them on your iPad or phone if you want to, and then you could go ahead and just flip through, read them whenever you want. And like I said, again, step by step. I have never... Basically, you're going to do exactly what the instructions say. There's no real need to change the order of things. So this is almost better than a video. You get to go through and just kind of pre-build it. The advantage, obviously, of the video is if I run into anything, I'll show you, what the little gotchas are or how I handled it. But to have a solid understanding of what it is that you're going to be getting into ahead of time, do you have the tools? Are you satisfied with, the building challenges and everything like that? You'll be able to figure that all out in advance, which is just amazing. Again, good sized book, easy to see and understand, easy to read instructions, and they all make sense. I like here that they have you build up a lot of material in the stern, even though it's MDF, because... And I may end up doing something different. I may end up just filling that with a block of wood and sanding it. But it helps. You need all that material there to terminate your planks. And Chris has gone ahead and figured that out for you. Here we start with the fake whale and start building up the hull sides. And he gives you some generic instructions on planking. Especially for this first layer, it's not particularly difficult. You get it on, you sand it. You kind of fill it in. It doesn't really matter. You're setting yourself up for success to build a solid base or foundation for your final layer planking, which you do want to spend quite a bit more time on getting right, at least the first few layers, because then after that you could go ahead and get everything on, smooth out, and we'll end up painting from there on out. If you notice, there's a lot of clamps, and these clamps are very inexpensive. I have a ton of them, and I should go get a ton more. Can never have enough clamps when building a wooden ship, I'm noticing. He went with green on the prototype there. They even say that, green with the a black whale, and then of course white on the bottom. That's part of the reason I bought this ship. I built a ship years ago that had a green hull on it, and I really liked it. You could do red or blue, any color you want. It's your ship. They made a ton of these things. Make it unique. Maybe you've done some research and there's a different one you like. You could paint it all black even above the waterline. That I'm sure was a very common color. Now we're getting into some of the details. They are calling it a windlass drum, so I did have that right. So see in the middle, the metal parts are painted black, and then you do like a wood color in between. So it's ready to go. You're not monkeying around with trying to build all that. That would just be no fun. Huge time saver there. Putting everything together here for the little deck house. Your rudder. all this detail. This they opted to paint white. It's brass photo etch. You might even just throw it up there, gold or the brass color. That might really stick out and look nice too. You could do whatever you want to do. It's your ship. So again, very cool. And here's your hull. This is what it should look like as you build up to the rigging point. And then we start going ahead and working the walnut dowels. And it kind of takes you step by step through. If you want to go ahead and put the sails on, you can. He went ahead and dyed his this darker red color, kind of a maroon. Some tips on your rat lines. Again, we looked at those in the expanded instructions. You should always look at those just to get a little bit more information and clarity. And as you can see here, your boat's all ready to go. How you assemble all of that. And we're back here to our display case. Put all that up. We've got some detail shots here of you can lay out your extra stuff. He has more of these for sale, and the crates and things like that if you want to get a bunch and stack them up all over the place. But anyway, that's it. That's the finished ship. It should look like this. Again, a whole bunch of instructions or pictures up close showing you how their prototype model turned out. Beautiful photographs. Very high quality. Just amazing manuals. You know, up close there of the little dinghy ready to go. And this is all, the paddles are wood. The rudder's wood. This is resin, and then these planks on the inside and floor, those are photo etch, I believe. So you could do a little bit of paint work, and it looks like the real thing, looks like wood. And then, of course, you have an inventory sheet and last few pages just to go through, and that's your finished ship. So that's it. An amazing model by Chris Watton of Vanguard Models. Again, go check out their website, www.vanguardmodels.co.uk, and check them out. I've got an email there if you've got any types of questions that you may have. An amazing company, an amazing kit. I'm looking forward to being able to build it. All right, guys, be safe. We'll see you.